The Business Hub on Star Radio.
Right, so we welcome Mili Ponce Oliver to the show. Good morning to you, Mili.
Good morning.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. You guys are running, or you're the managing director of Social Media Frontiers. I could take a fairly good stab at what you do from the title of the business, but do you want to just give us a bit of an insight into what you're all about?
Well, basically, we created Social Media Frontiers because we realized that even though social media marketing is so big right now, it's one of the biggest tools for marketing, companies don't understand it yet. They don't understand the importance, and if they do think they understand it, they actually are not taking the benefits and they're not seeing the results. Mm-hmm. So I saw a need there. I could see that people didn't know what to do. They don't want their employees using social media. They don't want their employees spending time on social media, but they do want to benefit from it. So what we do mainly is we consult companies, we train them, and if they don't want to spend time doing it, we do it for them. So that's basically what we do.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Social media, as you quite rightly said, is one of the most effective marketing channels you can use these days, and the growth of it has been phenomenal, and therefore the change that's happened as a result of it has been phenomenal as well. How do you keep on top of it all?
It used to be just me researching. I used to take hours and hours of my day researching, testing, because more than researching, there is a lot on social media. People write on social media just for the sake of it. And when you test it, you realize not many people actually know what they're writing. So testing and researching is a big job for us. So we actually have people in the company researching. That's their job, to research on what works, what doesn't, what's happening out there. We test our own strategies. We test strategies that other companies use. But as well, we like to learn from the big ones. And there are companies that have proven that they're good at social media. We have Starbucks, we have Dell, we have Honda. So what we do is we see what they're doing, we test it ourselves, and we try to implement it in different type of businesses, because it's different to treat a business-to-business company than a business-to-consumers company. So basically how we keep on top of it is researching and testing. A lot of work.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I can imagine. So there'll be businesses that are listening to this interview, and they're at various different stages, because the Business Hub talks to businesses across the whole spectrum. So from corporates right the way down to startups that are literally in a back bedroom at the moment and are just trying to, pull this thing together. But I guess that this is the interesting thing about social media, is it can be a bit of a leveler, can't it? Because there's no reason why somebody that is a startup that's working from their bedroom can make as much noise on certain social media platforms as a big corporate that has a team of professionals doing it. But there's still a lot of businesses out there somewhere in the middle that are kind of like, yeah, Twitter, what? Yeah, do I need it? It's going to take more time. I haven't got time for this. It's not important to me. What's your advice to these businesses that haven't quite got there yet?
I think people are afraid of the amount of effort you have to put to it, the amount of time, and understanding what's the benefit, because this is something that we get all the time. Okay, what am I going to get in exchange? And I think what they have to do is first see what is happening. I mean, many companies have become famous just because of Twitter. I mean, we have examples of even singers becoming famous just because of Twitter, some presidents as well. So what I would suggest to them is to start step by step and see the results in little bits. Not wanting to say, I'm going to start doing social media today and I'm going to make my company huge by the end of the year. It's step by step, trying to understand social media. And there is no need to spend many hours on social media. It's being social. The mistake most companies are making is they open a Twitter account, they open a Facebook account, they say, I'm on social media. They put the link to their website and they say, we're on social media. And they tweet. And that is not being on social media. Being on social media is creating community. And it's a lot more simple than they think.
And is the aim to... What is the aim? Because is it to build and engage with followers, or is it to build a list of contacts, or is it to just try and sell? What's the best aim?
I think it's create awareness.
Okay.
I think that's the misunderstanding. It's not about selling on social media. It's not about generating leads necessarily. It's creating awareness of the company. I mean, what's the difference between the delicious burger that you find in the corner of your house and McDonald's? Not necessarily that McDonald's is better, but it's because the awareness, pretty much everywhere you go in the world knows McDonald's. So it's not about the people that follow you, but how many people follow you. So, and creating community, as I said. I mean, when I say creating community, it means interaction. You have to engage as a human That's the difference with social media and offline marketing. Any other is creating that human connection, and that's where most companies are failing.
So your social media presence should have a personality. Is that fair?
It should have a personality. And even if you're a business, many business to business say social media is not for me because I sell to business. Yes, but who's behind the business? There is a person.
Yeah.
So it's connecting to that person.
Yeah.
So it's a one-to-one connection. So you have to interact as a human. So if you are working or you're the marketing manager or running the marketing for a company, you've got to be you when you market that company.
Yeah.
You've got to connect as you working for that company and create that personality. And it's the content as well that you give.
I remember Twitter launching, and I remember being very confused by it, ignoring it for about 2 years before then the thing just took off and everybody kind of had to get involved. And this is at a time that I was working in a fairly traditional social media, which was radio, so it, arguably should have been
which is part of social media.
Absolutely should have been an early adopter for all this kind of stuff, and I just didn't get it. So I can understand why people in other types of businesses are probably still very confused by it all. Are there any platforms that are better than others? And I mean, Twitter, obviously, LinkedIn, I don't know. I mean, where do you go? Do you start through a process as a business on what you should approach? Or
I think first you have to know exactly what your target market is. Right now in Twitter, there are 500 million people, but we have in Facebook 1 billion people.
Yeah.
So Facebook is a platform that everybody should take advantage of.
Yeah.
It's there to market. That's what Facebook is doing nowadays. It's not anymore that personal connection either. It's all about marketing in Facebook right now.
Yeah.
And it should be used. But Twitter, it's a very different platform. Twitter is actually not a social network. It's a microblog.
Yeah.
Which is misunderstanding. Because Facebook is a social network where people network with each other. And Twitter is pretty much just a post.
Yeah.
So you need to, when you make your marketing plan, the first thing is to know where is your target market. Who are they? Are they housewives? Are they the working mom? Are they young people? So once you know where they are, pretty much everywhere in the internet you can find now in the statistics what type of people are on Twitter, what type of people are on Facebook. Facebook, there are more women in Facebook than men.
Yeah.
So if women is your market, Facebook is the best. Twitter has all the marketing managers. You have all the CEOs, CFOs, they're all on Twitter. So it depends if that's your market, that's where you have to go. LinkedIn is a very limited social network for marketing, but for recruitment it's great.
Yeah.
So if recruitment is what you are into, LinkedIn is definitely the best social network.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's understanding what social network you need to use, and that's what we help companies with.
Yeah, brilliant. It's understandable why a business that is, in the nicest sense of the word, ignorant to social media, it's understandable that they're quite afraid of getting involved, though, isn't it? Because there is a lot. There's so much to it.
It is, and it's it can get so confusing that you can end up wasting a lot of time.
Yeah.
If you're not guided the right way. And that's why I saw that need and I created Social Media Frontiers, because they don't want to spend that time and they don't want to waste it either. It's not like you pay for advertisement, the advertisement goes out, you don't waste any time.
Yeah.
Social media can be a waste of time if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So is the message then the worst thing you can do is do nothing and not have a strategy?
Actually, the worst thing you can do is be afraid, because some people are afraid of what people are going to say on social media. A long time ago, I had a meeting with a big company, a multinational company, and they say, we don't want to be on social media because people could say, the people are not happy, because there's always people that are not happy, could say something wrong on social media. And to people that have, that think that, I will say people will talk on social media anyway. So it's better if you know what they're saying instead of ignoring it.
Yeah.
So I would suggest to big companies, because the bigger the company, the more they have people that are happy and unhappy. It's better that you're on social media and you address the unhappy people than just ignoring, because they're going to talk about you anyway.
Yeah.
So it's better to know what they're saying and address it than just ignoring the fact that it's happening.
Because otherwise that conversation's going to continue, isn't it?
And it's going to only go viral.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And people really appreciate it. I mean, Dell got back 20% of the customers they lost using only Twitter.
Yeah.
Because they started contacting that unhappy people and say, how can we help you? How did we make you so unhappy?
Yeah.
And they brought back 20% of the unhappy customers. So, I mean, Dell, it's great on social media. They're one of the biggest on social media. They actually have 300 employees working purely on social media.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that is insane. No, it's brilliant though, and it's really interesting. It's fascinating. It always continues to be a fascination of mine, and something that I think there's always room to improve with as well. And learn new stuff, like as you are all the time. So you've grown your business from being one employee to being 20 employees. That's a pretty positive message for everybody at the moment. How are you finding the world, the economy and business at the moment?
I don't know how it was before, because I started only 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When crisis started.
Yep.
That was the right time to start, I think, because when there is crisis, there is even more need. It's finding what people really need right now, and people, what they need right now is to grow their business, because there's crisis. They need to sell more. They need to increase awareness. So I thought crisis is the best time to start for me, because marketing business and helping them to get out of that crisis is actually what they needed. So It's been an interesting experience, because at the end I realized that more than giving the services and managing the business, is great to actually manage people too.
Yeah.
You learn so much by managing people, and seeing that you depend so much on your employees. It's a great experience for me.
And a great note to end on as well. So, Mili, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Great to meet you. Really interesting to find out about you and your business, and thanks for the advice as well. I'm sure that'll be hopefully heeded by everybody that's listening to the show, if you're not already involved in social media. If people want to find out more and they want to make contact with you guys, where do we send them?
Socialmediafrontiers.com.
Yeah.
They can learn about social media for free right there.
Yep.
It's a blog. We post articles, tips, secrets, so they can learn social media and the best ways of using it, strategies. We share everything for free.
Yeah.
So they can go there, and if they want to contact us for better guidance, info@socialmediafrontiers.com, or through the website there is a contact us.
Great. And are you on Twitter?
Of course.
It's sort of my attempt at a joke there. Wasn't that great? But do you want to give people your social media locations as well?
My name, Mili Ponce, or Social Media Frontiers.
Yeah.
My name is MiliPonce. So if they just search on Google for Mili Ponce, they can see what I can do for them.
Yeah.
Because there are 13 pages about what I do.
Magnificent. Brilliant. And again, a pleasure to meet you. And thanks very much for spending the time to come in.
Thank you.
The Business Hub on Star Radio.